At ABC Corporation, we believe that people are a primary component in the value chain. Welcome to ABC Corporation's HR series on relocation. Today's topic, relocating to the Middle East.
Hello, my name is Cindy Villegas. I'm one of your HR directors for ABC Corporation. Today, my colleagues and I will be giving you key information to prepare for your big new assignment in the Middle East. Our Middle East expat team consists of Jesse Cardoza, Coleton Lasseter, Joshua Morrison, Joseph Riley, and myself, Cindy Villegas. Before we get into country-specific information, please note the following tips that relate to traveling to your new location. Ensure your passport is valid and will not expire for at least 6 months after your planned return. When you arrive, be prepared to answer general questions about your assignment. You'll receive a border security number which will be written in Arabic and serve as your primary ID while in the country. Carry this with your passport at all times. Accommodation and transportation will be taken care of by ABC, but carry cash with you for the driver. Women will be required to wear burqas in some public settings, so please be prepared. From a business perspective, remember that commerce is a blessed career, because the Prophet Muhammad was a man of commerce. You're expected to be a professional at all times and remember these Middle Eastern business practices. Relationships are built on mutual respect and trust, so connections are very important. Remember, this is an ancient part of the world, so old-fashioned haggling is to be expected, as are decisions being made in person. Remember the phrase, Bukra insha Allah, which means tomorrow if God wills. So do not impose an artificial timeline like those in Western countries. Also, there are 5 prayer times throughout the day, so be patient if meetings are paused or do not begin on time. Communication in the Middle East is very complex, and ABC will be providing you with a body language clinic prior to your departure. There are many subjects or behaviors that are considered rude or inappropriate, including the use of alcohol, making any comments about wives or children over the age of 12, and even certain hand gestures that Westerners consider commonplace. Now here is some country-specific information from our HR team. Those of you traveling to Turkey will hear from Coleton Lasseter. If you are going to Iraq, Joshua Morrison will have some information for you. I will be back to talk about Saudi Arabia. Joseph Riley has information for those of you headed to Israel. And Jesse Cardoza will provide us information on Egypt.
Geographically, Turkey is a unique country as it lies in both Europe and Asia, acting as a bridge/barrier between the two continents. Its population sits around 79.8 million people, and its territory ranges 300 to 400 miles north and south and 1,000 miles east to west. In Turkey, personal space tends to be very small, so it's important to be aware of that when relocating. Some more customs that they take part in is drinking hot tea, eating a large breakfast, fanatically watching soccer, walking down the streets, using public transportation, and cooking homemade meals every day. Some things that may offend the hometown people in Turkey is throwing food on the floor in disgust and not saying, "How are you?" back when someone asks it to you. Another thing that would be considered offensive in Turkey, but not in America, is using gestures that mean okay in America, but mean bad things in Turkey. Another thing to be aware of when relocating to Turkey is their business customs. Always schedule meetings 1 to 2 weeks ahead of time to avoid any kind of Turkish holiday. Always be on time to meetings, and finally, always schedule meetings around their 5 daily prayer times and avoid scheduling meetings in July or August, since these months have the most holidays.
Iraq sits directly in the middle of the Middle East. It is directly north of Saudi Arabia and directly south of Turkey. In ancient times, it was known as Mesopotamia, the home to Hammurabi, who created the Code of Hammurabi. It is a relatively average-sized country compared to the rest of the countries in the region. There are 5 major cities that sit in Iraq. The number 1 city in Iraq is Baghdad, whose population is 9.5 million. Number 2 is Mosul, who has an average population of 3 million. There are two main languages spoken in Iraq, Arabic and Kurdish, as well as a few other regional dialects spoken throughout the country. It is important to know the proper etiquette when you are in a public setting in Iraq. They like to keep to themselves and refrain from being loud and obnoxious while in public. It is also very common for men to hold hands and even sometimes kiss when they greet each other. It will also be expected of you to give up your seat when riding on public transportation to a woman if you are a man and a woman needs a seat.
Saudi Arabia is the largest state in Western Asia with an area of more than 2 million square kilometers. It is almost 4 times the size of Metro France, or somewhat larger than Mexico. The country has a population of 31.7 million inhabitants. The capital and largest city is Riyadh, and the predominant spoken language is Arabic. The official state religion is Wahhabism, the ultra-conservative form of Sunni Islam. The country is home to Mecca, Islam's holiest city, and the birthplace of the Prophet Muhammad. Some customs you need to be aware of are, under Islamic law, Friday and Saturdays are considered weekly days off. Religious police keep constant vigil that no laws are violated. Carry ID at all times for impromptu verification. Some behaviors to avoid in Saudi Arabia to keep from offending the hometown people. Photography is prohibited in public areas. Not touching or shaking hands is considered offensive. Touching and shaking hands is very frequent and is an expression of friendship. If pressed to accept a gift, always accept it. It is considered rude to refuse. Always accept with the right hand, as the left hand is considered unclean. The thumbs up gesture is vulgar. Do not speak is of Israel, and there is severe punishment for drug offenses.
Israel was founded in 1948 in response to a British mandate by the League of Nations to the slaughter of over 6 million Jews by Nazi Germany during the Holocaust and the increasingly anti-Semitic aggression throughout Europe. Israel is intended to grant the Jewish people their own homeland and safety and security in an area that have been pivotal to the Jewish faith during all of recorded history. Israel contains some of the most sacred sites to Judaism, Christianity, and Muslims, including the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which is said to house the tomb of Christ, as well as the Western Wall, the Dome of the Rock, and the Temple Mount. Due to this history, there is a clash of faiths and a state of permanent conflict between the people of Israel and the Palestinian people of Muslim faith who claim Israel for their own. With almost 8 million people, it's significant to many faiths, and faith plays an integral role in their daily life, with the two primary faiths being Judaism and Islam. It's currently believed that over half of the world's Jews live in Israel. The capital is Jerusalem, and one key thing about it is the only Western-style democracy in the Middle East, and it is the most similar to and strong allies with America. Primary languages are Hebrew and Arabic, and its currency is based on the shekel.
For those of you being relocated to Egypt, there are a few things you should know when it comes to culture and customs upon arrival. The first thing is to always be very respectful and polite when dealing with others, and get to know your common greetings. Welcome differences in the culture and be understanding on how customs may be different from what you may be used to. Also make notes on important yearly events and holidays, such as Ramadan or other festivals that celebrate the Prophet Muhammad. Please use caution when expressing concern about religion or politics. Your job assignment will most likely be close to Cairo, the capital, so become familiar with the area.
In closing, cultural information will be available from your HR representative. You will also be attending cultural and language training sessions to help you hit the ground running on arrival. All international assignments have a 1-week overlap with a previous ABC resource assigned to the region. It is expected that knowledge transfer sessions will occur throughout that week. Remember, we are here to help ease the transition to your new assignment. Feel free to contact us at any time, and remember, your Go Kit will have specific country resources and contacts that you can use during your assignment. Thank you very much. People like you make the difference in the value ABC Corporation provides our international clients.